whole ensemble and this little guy here that we got?
Well, movie magic, America, I don't know.
April 16th, 2023. The California desert. This was supposed to be the moment. The return. The Messiah coming back to save R&B. Frank Ocean was headlining Coachella. It had been 6 years since he performed live. Fans had flown in from literally everywhere. Tokyo, London, Brazil, just to breathe the same air as him. And then it happened. Or rather, it didn't. He showed up an hour late. He sat with his back to the audience. He didn't sing half the songs. He just lip-synced while a DJ played them. And then abruptly he said, "Curfew, guys," and walked off. It was bizarre. It was confusing. And for a lot of fans, it felt like a breakup text. Since that night, Frank has been virtually a ghost. No album, no tours, just silence. The internet has decided that Frank Ocean is retired, that he hates music, that he scammed us. But if you look closer, Frank didn't retire. He just changed jobs. While we were begging for an album, he was quietly building a luxury empire, directing a movie, and executing a 10-year plan that nobody noticed until right now, in late 2025. So, where is Frank Ocean? And is the Kiki Boy billboard actually real? Let's find the truth. The ice rink incident. To understand why Frank vanished in 2024 and 2025, we have to go back to that disaster at Coachella. Because the truth of what happened that night explains everything about his mindset right now. The narrative at the time was that Frank was just being a diva, being lazy. But months later, the truth leaked out. Frank hadn't planned to sit on a stool. He had spent weeks building a massive, fully functional ice rink on the main stage. He hired over 100 Olympic figure skaters to perform around him while he sang. It was going to be pure theater, high art. But days before the show, he fractured his leg during rehearsals. Doctors told him he couldn't skate. The festival production team had to scrap the entire ice rink, millions of dollars of construction overnight. They were melting ice with blowtorches hours before the gates opened. When he walked out there, he wasn't just late. He was in pain, and he was mourning the vision he couldn't execute. To Frank, the music industry is about control. He is a perfectionist. And Coachella proved to him that in the traditional music machine, you don't have control. So, he took his ball and went home. But he didn't stop working. He just stopped working for us. The grief and the pivot. We also have to talk about the elephant in the room. The reason Frank's career feels so fragmented lately isn't just artistic pretension, it's grief. In 2020, Frank's younger brother Ryan died in a tragic car accident. Ryan was his best friend. He was the muse for a lot of Frank's energy. When that happened, Frank scrapped the album rollout he had planned for 2020. He went completely dark, and when he emerged, he didn't come back as a singer. He came back as a businessman. Enter Homer. In 2021 and expanding aggressively through 2024 and 2025, Frank launched his own American luxury brand, high-end jewelry, silk scarves, and yes, let's address the viral moment, the $25,000 diamond-encrusted ring accessory that broke the internet. You know the one. People laughed. They said, "We want music, and you give us this?" But look at it from his perspective. Music requires you to sell yourself. You have to do interviews, go on tour, perform when you're sad, perform when you're hurt. Luxury goods, they sell themselves. Frank saw the Rihanna blueprint. Rihanna hasn't released an album in almost a decade, and she's a billionaire because of Fenty. Frank realized that if he wanted true freedom, the freedom to never have another Coachella disaster, he needed FU money that didn't come from streaming royalties. So, while we were waiting for Spotify notifications, Frank was opening stores in London and LA. He wasn't hiding. He was just busy being a CEO, the blonde money print. There is one more reason why Frank can afford to ghost us, and it's the one thing record labels hate talking about: ownership. Unlike 90% of the artists on the Billboard charts, Frank Ocean owns his masters. He owns the copyright to Blonde. Every time you cry to Nights at 3 a.m., Frank gets paid directly. He doesn't split that check with Def Jam because he famously bought his way out of his contract before releasing it. This means he generates millions of dollars in passive streaming income every single year without lifting a finger. Most artists tour because they have to. They need to pay back their advances. Frank doesn't. He has achieved the ultimate goal of the music business: total financial freedom. And ironically, That freedom is exactly why we aren't getting any music. When you don't need the money, you only work when you're inspired. The 2025 movie star update. But here is where the story gets interesting for late 2025. Because apparently, selling diamonds got boring too. For the last year, whispers have been circling Hollywood that Frank isn't in the recording booth. He's on a film set. Reports from major trades like Variety have confirmed that Frank is in talks with A24 to direct his first feature film. The rumors say the project is potentially titled Philly. And he isn't just putting his name on it. He wrote it, and he's directing it. The casting rumors are insane. We're hearing names like David Johnson and Taylor Russell are attached. Think about it. Frank has always been a visual storyteller. The Endless visual album. The Nike's music video. He loves cinema. This is the pivot. He doesn't want to be the guy singing Thinkin' About You for the rest of his life. He wants to be the guy winning Best Screenplay at the Oscars. He is trying to transition from pop star to auteur. And if you're a fan, this is actually good news. It means he's creating again. It's just not the medium you wanted. The Kiki Boy, hope. But wait, just when we accepted that Frank was a retired filmmaker/jeweler, 2025 threw us a curveball. April 2025, the road to Coachella. A mysterious billboard appears. It doesn't say Frank Ocean. It doesn't say album. It just says Kiki Boy 2025. Now, casuals drove right past it. But the diehard fans, the Reddit detectives, they lost their minds. They found a private Instagram account connected to the billboard that was followed by Frank's team. And then, the smoking gun. In March 2025, UFC fighter Payton Talbott posted a vlog. It seemed normal, just training footage, but playing in the background, a snippet of a song nobody had ever heard, with a voice that is unmistakably, undeniably Christopher Bro. I want to drink your words like wine. That is the lyric fans caught. This wasn't an accident. Frank Ocean is the most calculated person in the industry. He doesn't let his boyfriend or friend or whatever Payton is post a vlog with unreleased music unless he wants us to hear it. This is the game. He starves us for 5 years, then drops a breadcrumb in a UFC fighter's YouTube video just to watch us scramble. The truth. So, what happened to Frank Ocean? The truth is, the Frank Ocean of 2016 is dead. The guy who played the industry game, who did the interviews, who wanted the Grammys, he's gone. He disappeared because he realized the machine was broken. He didn't want to be a product anymore. He spent the last few years building a fortress around himself, with jewelry money, movie scripts, and private life, so that when he does come back, it's on his terms. The Kiki Boy era is coming. The movie is coming, but if there is one thing we learned from Coachella, it's this. Don't expect a schedule. Don't expect a traditional rollout. Frank Ocean will return exactly when he feels like it, and not a second sooner. But I want to know what you think. Is the Kiki Boy billboard for an album, or is it just the name of his movie? And honestly, would you be mad if he never dropped music again and just made films? Let me know in the comments. If you want more deep dives into missing celebrities, give us a follow. I'll see you in the next one.